All right, welcome on in, everyone, and welcome to Deal Day. I'm Dr. Janine, your host and your guest, and the formulator of all the Vitatree products. We have an exciting sale happening just today for a couple of our items. Let's go through them really quickly. It is up to 35% off just today for one day only on our collagen. This is where we're going to start the show today. And then we'll also be talking about our blood sugar balance. Now I'll be explaining exactly what these things are for and of course the Vitatree difference. And then coming up a little bit later is our vitamins, the men's formula. All right. So again, Deal Day. This is only for 24 hours on these two items. Our regular price on the blood sugar balance, which is all about balancing blood glucose levels, helps with weight loss as well. Regular price, $80.78 in the U.S. Today only for 24 hours, $54.52, as well as our collagen. We're going to start here at $53.98, and this is on subscription. Of course, if you want to do a one-time purchase, you can do that as well, but only while our quantities last. So this is super exciting, very new that we do our live shopping here online. So welcome on in, and please say hello, Sonia. Hello, nice to see you. Goalie 920, thank you for joining us today. And if you do have questions throughout the show, make sure you're heading over to Vitatree.com, put your questions in the chat box there, and also on social. I have my team behind the scenes that is helping to answer your questions. All right, let's talk about collagen. And what makes the Vitatree collagen so different? Well, we know that there's different types of collagen that you can take as a supplement, but really getting the highest quality of that collagen without fillers, without flow agents, and that's a hydrolyzed grass-fed collagen. That's exactly what you're getting in my formulation from Vitatree. Now, this is the best absorbed form of that collagen. It is hydrolyzed, so it's been enzyme treated, and that means that it's going to help with your digestion of the actual collagen peptides. Each scoop, so you're going to get that little scooper inside your pouch. Each scoop is 10 grams of collagen peptides. 10 grams of collagen, type 1 and type 3 collagen, which is so important for different aspects of our health. Let's go through them. I'm going to show you about why we need that type 1 and type 3. Okay, and you're getting both of those. So type 1, for instance, for your eye health, and the cornea helps to protect that protective coating of your eyes. Type 1 and type 3, of course, for beautiful hair growth and for beautiful skin. Your heart valves have both type 1 and type 3 collagen. Type 1 and type 3 also in your muscles. So for strong muscles, this is important, but also for your tendons and ligaments, type 1 and type 3. And that's important because the type 3 type of collagen that's naturally occurring in the Vitatree collagen is for elasticity. So that becomes really important when we're talking about our tendons, ligaments. We're talking about mobility, agility. This is longevity when you're taking care of your collagen and doing it the right way. Adipose tissue, so fat even has type 1 collagen. Our blood vessels, really important here, type 1 and type 3. So maintaining that elasticity, plasticity in our blood vessels so that they can properly dilate for good blood flow, for cardiovascular health. This becomes really important as well. And for even your bone density, type 1 and type 3 collagen. So a study done on postmenopausal women who were taking specifically this type of collagen, a hydrolyzed grass-fed bovine collagen, they found that they had significant improvements in their bone density from taking that collagen. So that, I don't know who I'm speaking to out there. Please say hello, but this is so important for us ladies as we're aging that we're optimizing. Yes, I know we take the collagen for the beauty benefits. Most women and men probably do as well. But to know that it's so multifactorial in terms of how it's helping with our health becomes very different. And I just want to share the Vitatree difference. Again, we don't use fillers and flow agents. I'm going to mix up our collagen in just a second to show you how I take it, but this is important. All of the raw materials that fill up, whether it's a pouch or our capsules at Vitatree, that is the highest quality and grade of those raw materials goes into our capsules or into our powders, into our pouches. What the other companies are doing, they can be using up to 85-95% filler and flow agents to make things more fluid and dissolvable, to improve maybe the texture and, making more capsules, for instance. They use a lot of these fillers and flow agents. And of course, at Vitatree, we don't use any of these. And that's why you get the results that you do. We're going to take a look at some testimonials in just a second as to just how great the Vitatree collagen is. But remember, each scoop is 10 grams of collagen, which is 10 grams of protein, our collagen peptides, type 1 and type 3. I like to mix it in my coffee. So this is a hot coffee, and it's unflavored. So it's not going to alter the flavor of whatever you're mixing it into. But the great thing about this is that because there's no fillers or flow agents, and it's unflavored, it's virtually undetectable. So you don't even know that it's there. Now, the other great thing that you can do is you can make an iced coffee with this. You can bake with this. I put this in my waffles, in my muffins, in my protein balls, all of my recipes. You can make coconut macaroons as well. So if you're on social media, make sure you check out my recipes on how to make all of these delicious things with the Vitatree collagen. 1 scoop a day is your standard dosage. That's going to be your 10 grams. And again, there's no fillers, no flow agents. It is registered in Canada. It has an NPN number, so that's super important for you to know, and the high quality standards that goes into every Vitatree product. The other thing is that there's no marine collagen in here. So I do get a lot of questions. Okay, what's better? Yes, there are fish-based collagens. I always like the fact that because of toxicity concern from a grass-fed source and a bovine source, we're getting the type 1 and type 3 collagen. Fish sources, I don't know. I looked at that in terms of formulation, and I found them to be very, very expensive for the high-end fish oils. Anything that I would be able to bring to market as a formulator that I would be confident in terms of toxicity and not having that toxicity concern, super expensive. It wasn't affordable to be able to do that and to bring that to market. So just so that you know, I mean, and collagen does come from different parts of the world. These are from Europe. So yeah, we know anything out of Europe, who are all my European friends out there, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, we know that anything coming out of Europe, they have really, really high quality standards in terms of anything ingestible. And that's where this collagen is from. All right, let's take a look at a couple of our reviews on the Vitatree collagen. Morning routine staple. Every morning I know I'm getting an amazing start to my day with this grass-fed beef collagen. When I'm out and can't enjoy it, my whole day is affected. Highly recommend, and I'm a lifelong user. Well, thank you so much, Valeria. As well as Nicole said, to me this product is excellent and I would give it 10 stars. I use Vitatree collagen every morning in my coffee. I also put my subscription for 2 pouches a month. Amazing, amazing. All right. Also, from Grace said, it's the best product. I recommend it to everyone who wants to try it. And again, you have the opportunity to get it today on our Deal Day offer. Incredible savings that you will be able to have just today. Remember, it's only for 24 hours, the Deal Day option. So make sure you're putting this in your cart on Vitatree.com if you're new here. It is our Deal Day offer, and at $79.98 is our regular price. Just today, it's $53.98 US. And of course, we have Canadian pricing as well. So depending on which website you're logging into, we will move on to our Acu blood sugar balance. If you haven't heard about this product, this is super important for weight loss. We're going to move here next, but make sure you're locking in that collagen. And on subscription, just so that you know, there's an added benefit too on subscription that it's free shipping. So when it's coming to you, and you don't have to think about it. That's what I love about auto delivery. Anything, subscription based, you don't have to think about it. As soon as you're running out, that's when your next shipment is coming. So there you go. And yeah, make sure that's in your cart. Okay, let's move on to the Acu blood sugar balance. What is this? This is all about Acu blood sugar balance, just like the product name says, all about balancing our blood glucose levels. And we know, maybe you've heard recently in the last couple of years, there are other types of, things that are out there that people are taking that are diabetes intended drugs. But what's happening, there is this dramatic weight loss that's happening, and, they're related to GLPs. Well, this is something that, did you know that Mother Nature does provide the same types of effects from herbal medicines? And this is what I have put into, long before I knew about these drugs that are out there. I formulated this years ago, but knowing that correlation with a high blood glucose level and your insulin and insulin resistance is very much related to what? To weight gain, where a lot of times it's going to be in the midsection, which is very difficult to target that fat, that belly fat. So this is all about the clinically proven ingredients in the formula: the African wild mango seed, white mulberry leaf, muscat and grape skin, Gymnema sylvester. These have been known to really help to increase that proper utilization of glucose in our cells, helps with insulin resistance. For instance, one study on the African wild mango seed found a significant improvement in leptin and C-reactive protein. C-reactive protein is an inflammatory marker that can be checked in your blood work. So isn't that interesting? White mulberry leaf helps to stabilize blood glucose levels and helps with the gene expression of leptin in one study. Gymnema, most recently, I was reading about the fact that helping to stabilize insulin secretion, but also was found to have a GLP-1 agonist type of effect. So we know that for weight loss, that becomes very, very important. And again, all natural ingredients. Without magnesium stearate, which is a flow agent, which you really need to be aware of. This is a chemical found in most vitamins and supplements out there. Make sure your vitamins, if you're not taking Vitatree, that it does not contain this ingredient, okay? It's a chemical. Ideally, I should have gloves on and be wearing a mask just to handle it. And imagine, and it's never been tested to be safe for long-term human consumption. They just don't even know what it does to humans in terms of toxicity. Of course, at Vitatree, so no magnesium stearate or vegetable stearic acid, same stuff. No synthetic ingredients, no fillers or flow agents. All right. So it's so important. And making sure that that glucose utilization in our cells with our insulin becomes very important. So of course, we have the insulin receptor, which is, we want that to be working properly so that the glucose can come into our cell and, be able to utilize that as energy. Now, when that is disrupted or we have a resistance happening, then that's when we get the high blood sugar over time, insulin resistance, and more importantly, the weight gain. All right. So this is why the AccuBlood Sugar Balance is so remarkable. We have had the most incredible testimonials. One of them is from one of our customers, Cynthia. And when I was on television actually here in Canada, she actually called into the show to give us the update. So she had lost 23 pounds at the time, just taking the AccuBlood Sugar Balance. She said that for her, it actually cut her cravings as well, for the carbohydrates, which was amazing. But she also said that she ran into someone that she hadn't seen in a while. And, this woman looked at her and said, "Oh my goodness, what happened, Cynthia? You've lost so much weight," in a good way. And she said, I've been taking this AccuBlood Sugar Balance. So that's the power of Vitatree. I'm so happy that this formulation is working for so many people. Let's take a look at some other reviews that we have. Cheryl said, "It works. I've been taking this for over a year and I have noticed quite a difference in my levels. And it's definitely helped manage my blood sugar." So absolutely, that's what it's intended for. One of what I say sort of the side effects, if you do need to lose weight, is of course that extra weight may start to come off because now you're stabilizing blood sugar and your insulin. All right, AccuBlood works. This is from Kelly. "I ordered AccuBlood for my husband. It is working on that stubborn weight around his waist. I noticed he slimmed down after just taking one bottle, along with the fat factors, which we will be talking about. That is a fantastic combination, the AccuBlood. So remember that. So put the AccuBlood in your cart right now if you're shopping with us on Vitatree.com. And just stay tuned for the fat factors. That's coming up. AccuBlood is amazing. From Lisa. "I bought this for my mom and she is thrilled. It actually helps and is natural." Yes, all natural. That's what we're talking about. Welcome on in if you're just joining us. I'm Dr. Janine. Barbie, 63. Hello in Cali. Nice to have you here. Thank you. Aguli. Hello. Nice to have you. Sonia as well. Hello. And Fizza from San Francisco. Thanks for tuning in today. So we're live shopping. I'm Dr. Janine, the formulator of all the Vitatree products. If you've seen me on social media, I do a lot of education and we have, podcasts and all things, natural. That's what I talk about. And I love talking live shopping as well because you get to, be in on the inside scoop and some of our best products in terms of value today is what we're sharing, of course, with our live shopping. So with our AccuBlood Sugar Balance, our standard dosage of this is 2 capsules a day. I now like to take it based on some of the research that I saw in the herbal medicines. I now take 1 capsule before lunch and 1 capsule before dinner. So helping to manage that proper insulin response, of course, throughout the day, and taking those 2 capsules is the way that I recommend. That is the standard dosage on the bottle. Some people do like to take 3 a day, so 1 before each meal. that's up to you. You're going to go through your bottle a little bit more quickly if you take more than 2 capsules a day, but this is our AccuBlood sugar balance. And, metabolic syndrome is something that we'll just touch on really quickly, which could be something that you're going through, and that this could be really helpful with the AccuBlood as well. So metabolic syndrome, you have 3 or more of the symptoms happening. So either browning of the skin in the neck region, it could be in the armpits as well if you're getting little skin tags, an indication of insulin resistance and possibly metabolic syndrome, fatty liver disease, central obesity, so that belly fat, fatigue, inability to focus, high blood pressure, low HDL cholesterol, high triglycerides, high fasting glucose levels, as well as the central obesity we talked about, polycystic ovaries, and erectile dysfunction. And when you've got 3 or more of those signs and symptoms, metabolic syndrome, you got to get your levels under control. And this could be something natural now with the AccuBlood, just 2 capsules a day that can significantly help what's happening there with your blood glucose levels. I'm happy to have you all here today. Train Tree 88, hello in Vancouver, Canada. Great to have you here. Thanks. Nancy, thank you for tuning in. Poopy, hello, you're back. Nice to have you here today. So again, this is our AccuBlood. It is one of our Deal Day options today, so it's only for today, okay? So for 24 hours on our subscription, it's $54.52 US. Regular price is, I don't recall. It's like $80 or something crazy, 70 something. Anyways, so yeah, our subscription, and one time, you can also do a one time. You don't have to do subscription. Oh yes, I was close. $80.78 is the regular price. All right. So today it's 54. This is incredible. All right. You can do, let's go back to that other slide. You can do your one-time shipment and you can spread out your payments. So we also have interest-free partial payments if you want to go that route. Just trying to make it easy for you, especially if you're new to Vitatree. Welcome on in, and you can spread out your payments if you want to do it that way. But definitely subscription is a great way to go because you get the free shipping and you get a little bit more of a deeper discount on the subscription price. All right. So that is your AccuBlood. Amazing, amazing product. I love the fact that it just helps to stabilize things. And one of the things that Cynthia, that I was talking about her testimonial earlier, she mentioned that her cravings for the carbohydrates really were decreased substantially. So that is amazing. All right. So we're going to take a little look at something. Take a look at this and I'll be right back with you.
We're so glad you joined us for Vitatree Live Shopping with Dr. Janine Bowring. Stock up and save up to 35% on your favorite Vitatree products at Vitatree.com. Need help or have a question? Call 1-844-GET-WELL. or email our team at hello@Vitatree.com or chat with us in the comments for live answers from Dr. Janine.
All right. So there you have it. If you do have any specific questions, then of course I can't answer, specific medical questions here live. However, if you do have specific questions, please send them to the team, hello@Vitatree.com, and they will do their best to answer your questions. Maybe you're taking medications. You're not sure if you can take the Vitatree products. Please just ask your questions. Very important that you get your questions answered. Okay. We always do our best to do that. All right. What are we talking about next? We're talking about fat factors. All right. This used to be called our fat burner. That was the original title name of this product. However, the fat factors is addressing different factors as to why we may be overweight. And this is why we definitely want to do this naturally. So with the herbal medicines, which I'll show you in the formula. And again, the standard dosage on this one is 2 capsules a day. And remembering at Vitatree, of course, we don't use the fillers. We don't use the flow agents. We're not, all you're getting is the raw materials that I'm going to show you next in the formulation. That really is a distinctive difference compared to most supplements out there. And you can imagine, I'm a naturopath, I'm practicing, I'm seeing my patients. And at that time, when I didn't yet have my own formulations, I was shocked to find out, when I eventually did that research, shocked to find out as to all of these fillers and flow agents that were going into supposedly the best professional brands that you had to get as a prescription from someone like myself as a practitioner, all these fillers and flow agents. Like, okay, this can't be good. It can't be right. And not to mention synthetic ingredients and synthetically derived, ingredients to derive vitamins and and minerals. So I had to do something different. That's how Vitatree was born. My husband and I, we put our heads together, and yeah, it's been, full steam ahead ever since, that's been like 18 years ago now. And this is the difference. So formulated by myself, and welcome on in. We've not yet met. I'm Dr. Janine. It's great to have you here. Whole food ingredients. And no magnesium stearate, which is, remember, that white powder, that flow agent. Unless you're checking your vitamin bottles, your supplements very carefully, you wouldn't necessarily know that it's in there, but it's never been tested to be safe for long-term human consumption. They haven't even done the testing in terms of humans ingesting this. It is a chemical. Even if it says vegetable stearic acid or vegetable magnesium stearate, okay? No fillers or flow agents, third-party tested in a GMP certified facility, so that's really important for you to know. So the highest quality. Here in Canada, we have our NPN numbers on all of our products. Remember, whenever you're ingesting something, especially in Canada, make sure it has that NPN number. But what is the fat factors all about? Well, it's all about dealing with that extra fat that your body may be holding on to. And whatever we can do to mobilize and oxidize that fat is something that we definitely want to do. And of course, doing it all naturally. And that's what the fat factors is about. And because of the ingredients in the formulation, this is going to target that fat, and especially that belly fat, which we know can be very, very difficult to get rid of and alleviate despite your best efforts. I know with maybe your exercise or maybe lack of exercise, with your diet, maybe you're doing, calories in, calories out, calorie deficit, and that weight is not budging. Maybe you're struggling. You just want to give things a little bit of a boost. This is where the fat factors can be really, really instrumental in helping with that oxidation and mobilization of those fats. So when we look at the ingredients really quickly, you'll appreciate, again, all natural, not going to give you the jitters. It's not going to cause, historically fat burning supplements had these negative side effects. And this is not that. This is very natural. And here you can see with the Panax ginseng, this is going to help with balancing your insulin levels, like we just talked about with the blood sugar balance. So this combination of the fat factors, and we have a lot of our customers take both the fat factors and the blood when they're really wanting to target this with their weight loss, but balancing your blood glucose and your insulin. This is adaptogenic, so it helps with cortisol and stress levels, as is the maca, another adaptogenic herbal medicine, which is going to help with the stress aspect. Often that's why we get the belly fat and, with the cortisol. And Camellia sinensis, this is green tea with a little bit of caffeine. So if you are super sensitive to caffeine, like I am, you're not going to take this just before bed. You want to take this earlier in the day, and ideally about 30 minutes before you exercise. It's going to give you so much energy and stamina for your exercise. You may actually perspire a little bit more. And that's a great indicator when you heat up that you are getting into that fat burning mode. It's a little joke if you've not heard this before. Tell me if you've heard this before. Put a 1 in the comments if you've heard this before, that it's your fat cells are crying when you're sweating from exercise. I think that's just the cutest thing. It's a great way to think about it, that you want to aim for getting into a bit of that sweat happening with that fat loss. And that's the great thing about the fat factors from Vitatree. It's all natural, won't give you those negative side effects. 1 capsule twice a day, ideally about 30 minutes before your exercise, before your walk, before you're doing any type of movement. I think people get a little bit scared of the word exercise, but any type of movement, you want to be taking your fat factors once, twice a day, just before that movement. And that's really going to help to stimulate that energy and being able to stimulate something called thermogenesis as well, which is your body's ability to create that heat. And it has to do with your mitochondria and the uncoupling of your mitochondria. It releases heat. And that is a great way to alleviate some of that fat, that thermogenesis, building some brown fat as well, which is actually a good thing going into a cold Canadian winter, at least here in Canada. Building some of that brown fat is a good thing to keep us warm. All right. So it says, from Alicia. Is it Alicia? I'm not sure. Fantastic product. I use it myself and recommend it to my patients. Okay, so you're a practitioner. Love that. I am also very satisfied with the service. It is fast and efficient. Thank you very much. Well, thank you so much for writing that in, Alicia. As well as Fat Factors Works. This is from Kelly. I actually have noticed my husband has slimmed down in the waist area after just taking 1 bottle. As an added bonus, he has exercised as usual and has not altered his diet to get this result. Yeah, there's no harsh diet or elimination thing happening here. It's just from taking the Fat Factors capsules. And that is amazing. I love this from Val. My husband loves this product, and he takes it with the AccuBlood. He is seeing results in weight loss. So remember, AccuBlood is one of our Deal Day items today, and that's what I was talking about, the combination of your fat factors, 2 capsules a day, AccuBlood, 2 capsules a day. Put these both in your cart. Amazing, amazing opportunity today, of course, for our Deal Day, and of course, our special pricing that we have, which is amazing. So with the AccuBlood, our regular price, like any other day, on the 2 bottles would be $80.78 American, okay? Today and today only for 24 hours, or as long as we have quantity. Remember, we don't have huge quantities in some countries, so this is something that, based on this pricing, the Deal Day pricing, $54.52, and that's on subscription. You could do a one-time, purchase as well. You could spread out your payments if you try to make it easier for you, especially if you're new to Vitatree and you just want to try things for the first time. What a great opportunity that you've tuned in today, and I'm so happy that you're all here. So this is amazing. All right. So thank you for tuning in. We do have the men's formula will coming up, and I think we're talking next about my book. Is it? Yes. All right. So my newest and latest book, if you're not aware, if you don't yet follow me on social media, The Lost Medicine, Rediscovering Mother Nature's Prescription. If you haven't yet picked up your copy, this is a great opportunity. Gift-giving season is upon us now. And what a great gift of health that you can give to, yourself, your loved ones, your neighbor, your friends, someone that you don't know what to buy them. This is going to be such an easy read and applicable, whether you're suffering with some type of thing happening with your health, an illness, you want preventative tips, you just want to live a healthy and bountiful life, book is going to be for you. It's all about longevity as well. So some of the chapters that I cover, light, and why it's so important, if you've seen me on social media, why it's so important to reconnect with natural sunlight and getting enough of that sunlight exposure, sound, circadian rhythm, sleep, grounding, electromagnetic fields, so those EMFs, what that is doing to our health, blue light toxicity, leptin resistance, water, and how we can structure our water so that it's more healthy for us before we drink it. Cold thermogenesis, so getting cold, heat exposure in saunas, the eye-brain network, the gut microbiome, detoxification, mineral imbalances, natural beauty tips, weight loss, and the mind-body-spirit connection. So it's all in the book. Please pick it up. You're going to love it. And it's all about, reconnecting with Mother Nature, because I think with so much of our modern world and technology, our artificial lights that we're under all day, and the fact that we don't always protect ourselves, whether that's our eyes. So I talk about the blue light blocking glasses, when and how to use them, as well as covering up our skin, because if we're not covering up, which I didn't mention during the AccuBlood sugar balance, if you're not covering up your skin at nighttime and you've got lights on in your home, you're actually spiking your blood sugar levels. A lot of people don't realize that. So maybe, you don't even eat carbohydrates and your doctor is telling you in your blood work that you have high blood glucose levels. Well, it could be because of your environment, because of your lights. Yeah. So this is something these are all the tips and tricks that I share in the book. And you'll notice that each chapter is going to have a bunch of tips that you can actually very easily follow. I also have a lot of references and medical references and study references in the book. So if you do want to delve more deeply into any of the subject matter, you can certainly do that by looking up the references as well. So there you go. That is The Lost Medicine, Rediscovering Mother Nature's Prescription, all about reconnecting with Mother Nature. If you're just tuning in right now, welcome on in. I'm Dr. Janine, the author of the book, the formulator of the Vitatree products. And yeah, this is our Deal Day. So we will be talking about the men's formula. That's coming up for healthy prostate health, energy, stamina, for stress, for cortisol levels. But this is, of course, the book, and you can learn more on, the website as well, a little bit about what is found in the book. All right, I'm going to show you a little bit more about the book, and I will be back in a couple seconds. What if the real path to healing was buried on purpose? Before we had prescriptions and quick fixes, we healed with the sun, with the earth, with grounding, with natural detox, and really watching what we put into our bodies. Well, these are some of the reasons why I wrote my latest book, The Lost Medicine. It's all about rediscovering Mother Nature's prescription for us. She is our best doctor. You can learn more in my latest book. Please check it out. All right, there you have it. Yeah, please check it out if you haven't yet purchased your copy. And thank you to everybody who pre-ordered the book. I know you're waiting forever, as we were here, for the final arrival of the book. Thank you for all the pre-order, people who got a signed copy. And I'm very appreciative. You made me a national bestseller within like 2.5 days. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. All right, we are moving on. We are talking about brain health now with the memory and brain support. Okay, so this is all about maximizing our brain health and being able to do that naturally. Unfortunately, as we're aging, we lose that proper oxygenation to our brain. It goes after the age of 25, we're losing a percentage per year of oxygen getting up to the brain. So that's a crazy statistic. And yeah, we might be feeling it. No matter what age you're at, you might be feeling, oh my goodness. Well, you get to another room of your house, and you're like, okay, why am I here again? And you have to kind of retrace your steps. Or maybe, you have left your things. I don't know. Everybody knows somebody who just like they're losing their stuff all the time. Hon, where's my, I'm calling out someone in my family. Hon, where's my this, that, the other thing? Oh my goodness. Somebody took it. No, maybe you've forgotten where you've left it is the key, right? So brain function on the decline, perhaps, and maybe it's just stress and your thoughts and your energy is somewhere else and things aren't connecting as they used to. Well, we want to make sure that we're properly oxygenating the brain and for our memory, for our cognition, especially as we're aging. And some of the symptoms of that low oxygenation to the brain could be sleep apnea. Mood swings could be, irritability, restlessness, depression, even chronic headaches can be related to that lack of that proper oxygenation getting up to the brain. And this is what the memory and brain formula is all about. I designed this to help with all natural ingredients to help to boost that blood flow, boost, that glucose and oxygen getting up to the brain for that optimal brain function. It's also a brain detox. And helps because of the chlorella. So if you look at the actual capsules, I'll show you really quickly, they're green in color. And that's because the contents have that chlorella and of course the herbal medicines, which I'm going to show you just behind me on just a second. And this is important. All natural ingredients. Again, Mother Nature provided these herbal medicines and the chlorella, which is a blue-green algae and works like a brain detox to help to ensure that we are optimizing our brain function. Okay, let's take a look at them. So the chlorella is our blue-green algae. It helps to trap or chelate those heavy metals, which we know have been associated. A lot of research has gone into things like aluminum in the brain and other heavy metals that compromise brain function. And they bioaccumulate, meaning that they stay stuck in the organs unless we actively do something to alleviate, that toxic load. Bacopa, which is a specific antioxidant, that's needed for brain cells. So it's going to help to fight free radicals in the brain, which is important. The ginkgo helps with peripheral circulation. So that's going to help to increase that blood flow to the brain, and it's standardized to 24% flavonoid glycosides and 6% terpene lactone. So that's, again, when we talk about, and not everybody needs to know, the specifics of formulation, but this is important because not all herbal medicines, there could be other ginkgos or bacopas out there, combinations for brain boosting. They're not all created equal. And at Vitatree, all my formulations are of the highest caliber and standard in GMP, facilities that have been tested in terms of being free from toxins and heavy metals, and that they actually have the potency. So that is the Vitatree difference, formulated by myself, a naturopathic doctor. And I think that's important because, it's not created by, some chemist in a lab. It's created by me who, had a busy naturopathic practice, saw a lot of patients. I knew kind of some of the things in terms of herbal medicines and other nutrients, things that worked and didn't work as well. And then I do a lot of research and putting all that together to make the Vitatree formulations without the synthetic ingredients, all whole food ingredients, no chemicals, no magnesium stearate, so no fillers or flow agents, and of course third-party tested. That's the Vitatree difference. And when you take something like the memory and brain, it actually starts to wake up your brain. You feel that Vitatree difference. And that's why we have so many customers. I've been on television for over 16 years now, talking and educating people about the Vitatree products. And welcome on in. So if you're tuning in for the first time, it's so great to have you here. And hopefully I am able to answer some of your questions if you have them as well. Vishal is asking, reducing belly fat faster. We did talk about the Acu blood sugar balance. That is one of our deal day items today, as well as the fat factors. All right. Great question. And thank you, Mirka. You finally figured out the crowns. Thank you so much for being our number 3, person here who is contributing to the show. Thank you so much. It's so great to have you here. All right, so let's take a look at some of the reviews that we have on the memory and brain. Amanda said, this helps me to recall quicker and I feel more focused throughout the day. Well, thank you so much, Amanda, for sharing. That is amazing. I'm glad that the memory and brain is helping you. Rebecca said, I can't believe the difference I feel by taking this supplement. I know, it's incredible. I take it as well. 2 capsules a day is your standard dosage. I personally like to take it mid-afternoon, like 2-3 p.m.-ish. I find that my brain power is better in the morning, and then as the afternoon is going on, I need a bit of a boost, especially with all the research that I do. So that for me, the 2 capsules together, but 2 capsules a day is your standard dosage on this one. Okay, Cheryl said, since my husband and I started using memory and brain, there is a difference. I am better at recalling. I saw more of an improvement in him because he is more consistent with taking the supplement. I love that. Maybe you're forgetting to take it. You shouldn't be forgetting after you've taken it for a little while because it's going to help to boost up that brain power with the memory and brain support. Now remember, it is available on Vitatree.com, so please check it out. And a great thing to pair up maybe with one of our deal day items today, just as if you're just tuning in now, our deal day items are just for today for 24 hours at this value, as you can see why, because the regular price on our Acu Blood, all about weight loss, belly fat, balancing blood glucose levels, GLP, if you've heard about that before. Regular price, $80.78. Today, only on subscription, $54.52. You can also do a one-time if you want to do that. And here we see with the collagen, another deal day item just for today, as supplies last, just for 24 hours, $53.98. Regular $79, so close to $80. All right, so that huge values and we don't have a huge amount of quantities, and I won't say what country it is in one country. So just be quick on the collagen and the Acu Blood. All right, so thank you for tuning in today. It's great to have you all here on Deal Day. Again, I'm Dr. Janine, the formulator of all the Vitatree products. All right, we are moving on to our vitamin B12. Now, vitamin B12. We know super important for brain power. Lack of energy. We're going to look at some of the symptoms of being low in that vitamin B12. Lack of energy is probably the number 1 symptom of that low status of your Bs. This is actually a B complex as well. And because of the ingredients, again, all natural ingredients without the cyanide. Okay, so here's the thing with most conventional B12 supplements out there is that they have something called cyanocobalamin. That is not what you're finding in the Vitatree. This is adenosylcobalamin, very different, without the cyanide. And this becomes important in terms of your digestion, your absorption, the bioavailability, and the utilization of this B12. It's a B complex as well because it has the accessory B vitamins. Those are naturally occurring in the chlorella. And again, you'll notice that the capsules are quite green on the inside. It's a clear capsule, but on the contents are green because of that chlorella, which is amazing. Now, the B12 is really important for, yes, our energy levels, but also for our nerves and our nervous system. So one of the things on the outside of our neurons is called myelin. Myelin is reliant on having enough vitamin B12. When we're lacking in B12, that can wear down the myelin, and now we're getting symptoms, and we're going to look at more of them, but numbness and tingling can be related to that myelin that has broken down, as well as proper vision is related to having enough of our vitamin B12. Let's take a look at some other symptoms of that B12 deficiency. So inflamed mucous membranes, burning tongue, canker sores should be here as well. That's really important. So if you're prone to just like this, inflammation in the mouth, that can relate to, of course, a B12 deficiency. Pale skin, low B12, indigestion, muscle weakness, muscle tremors, cramps, and of course, low energy is on here. The neuralgias, neuropathies, tingling sensation, often in the fingers, in the toes, but it could be anywhere. It could be in the face as well. With the neuralgias, unsteady gait, so inability to maintain your proper balance can be related to a B12 deficiency. Anemia, immunodeficiency, And of course, we talked about, the lack of energy, mood swings, even depression, low mood, because you're lacking in that B12. So the great thing about this one, just one little capsule per day. And if you don't like to swallow capsules, just so that you know, all of the Vitatree products are easily opened up. So they are the type of capsules that you can open up. So you just twist them open that up into some juice, some water, your tea, coffee, oatmeal, whatever you like, into your smoothie to make it really easy if you don't like to swallow capsules. But I just wanted you to know that. Again, just one capsule per day, and that's 1,000 micrograms of the adenosylcobalamin, your B12. If you have a methylation issue, which some people have had some, genetic types of testing done in terms of methylation, problems, that this has the methyl, which is methylcobalamin, which is naturally occurring in the chlorella, plus the adenosylcobalamin without the cyanocobalamin. So that's really important. Some of the things that can mimic a B12 deficiency, all right, or B12 deficiency can mimic other diseases. Things like, ADHD, neuropathy, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, Parkinson's, dementia, MS. Just because of a severe B12 deficiency, you get some of the same type of symptomatology. So that's really important in terms of your nervous system. Remember, we need to have and maintain that proper myelin coating in terms of being able to maintain our B12. So any type of shaking that's happening, tremors, could be related to a severe B12 deficiency. And here in Canada, I don't know about other countries. I do know some countries, but here in Canada, our normal parameters in our blood work for B12, they're much lower. What would be considered normal in another country, overseas in Europe, Japan, you would need to be over 500 in your levels. Here, if you're like 200 or so, it's still within the normal range. It's not something that is necessarily your doctor is going to flag when they're looking at your blood work to say, oh, your B12 is very low. But that's something I always look for in blood work. And a lot of times, somebody who is fatigued or has some of these symptoms has, in fact, what is said is normal in the blood work is actually quite low vitamin B12. The great thing, we start taking one capsule a day of the Vitatree B12, and sure enough, the symptoms disappear and your blood work gets better. So let's take a look at some of our great testimonials on the vitamin B12. It is really like a little miracle when you take it. Just your one capsule in the morning gives you that energy for the day. Also helps with your metabolism of your carbs, your fats, and your proteins, which is important. And okay, this is from Rebecca. Since taking this product, I have had a bone density test done and it came out great. So glad I found this product. All right. So this is interesting. I think actually, no, we're talking about another product here. So this is something that we'll have to, I don't know, do we have the B12? I think we're talking about calcium and D3 in those testimonials. I don't know. Maybe they got a little bit shuffled up. That's okay. But again, with a B12 deficiency, very, very common to have a B12 deficiency. Please ask for it in your blood work and, making sure that you are optimizing those levels. I personally love my level for myself. I can't speak to anybody else, but for my level, I like it to be over 500. In our Canadian labs, up around 800 is a little bit better for me, even in terms of energy levels. And just making sure that oxygenation is, optimal as well. Shortness of breath can be a symptom of that B12 deficiency. So it may be something that you definitely want to look into, and check that out on the Vitatree website. All right, we are moving on next to, I think we're going to take a look at something on the screen. I will see you back in a couple seconds. Take a look at this.
We're so glad you joined us for Vitatree Live Shopping with Dr. Janine Bowring. Stock up and save up to 35% on your favorite Vitatree products at Vitatree.com. Need help or have a question? Call 1-844-GET-WELL or email our team at hello@Vitatree.com or chat with us in the comments for live answers from Dr. Janine.
All right. So remember, you are, or if you're just tuning in, you wouldn't know, this is Deal Day. So welcome on in. Thank you for tuning in today. Please know that for today only, for 24 hours, this is really new here at Vitatree to do live shopping. So just for the next 24 hours, you have the opportunity to lock in with our AccuBlood Sugar Balance, all about detoxification, well, not as much detoxification, but really balancing our blood glucose levels and helping with that belly fat in particular. helping to stabilize blood glucose, insulin secretion, but also for that fat burning effect with the active blood sugar balance. Again, just for 24 hours, this incredible offer, okay? As well as the collagen, which is one of our favorite and best sellers here at Vitatree. 2 pouches you're getting, okay? So 2 pouches. Each pouch has 20 scoops of that hydrolyzed bovine grass-fed collagen. So the highest of the calibers in terms of collagen from Europe. And this is $53.98, regular $79.98. All right. So lock in your 2 pouches of your collagen, your active blood sugar balance. I will be, guys, coming up to our Vitamins formula, the men's formula, which is really important for prostate health, for men's health in general, for stress, stamina, energy. We'll be talking about that. But first, let's go and talk a little bit about something this time of year tends to be, top of mind, is keeping our immune system strong. And this is where the zinc plus quercetin formulation comes in. Now, this is all about having an antiviral effect. We know that zinc is a powerful antiviral on its own, so it really does help with our immune system. Plus the copper, so you're getting the right ratio of the zinc and the copper. You never want to supplement too much of one or the other because they actually compete for absorption. So this becomes really important to get enough of each. So you're getting 12 milligrams of your zinc, 1 milligram of your copper in the right formulation, as well as zinc needs a channel. So if you've ever taken a zinc supplement before, a zinc lozenge, maybe it made you feel really sick. That's really, really common. It causes a lot of nausea for people and has poor absorption. Well, the type of zinc that I've used in the formula is a zinc bisglycinate, so it has a higher bioavailability, but zinc on its own actually needs a channel. So it needs that channel, it's called an ionophore, for that proper absorption. And that's why I had to do the research, and I found that quercetin was a fantastic, which is it's naturally occurring, it's a natural antihistamine that we get from the Sephora japonica plant. And what we want to do is open up that channel, and that's what a zinc ionophore is. That's what the quercetin does. It opens up that channel for that proper zinc absorption. So that's why, you get that rapid absorption. So whether you're using this for your immune system, if you are using it to protect your lung tissue, I also have the shiitake mushroom in the formula, and that's going to be very protective for your lungs, for coughs and things, as well as the quercetin, which helps with that bioavailability within the formula. Again, without the magnesium stearate, there's no synthetic ingredients, no fillers or flow agents, true to all the Vitatree products, true to, all my formulations at Vitatree. And that's why you get the results that you're looking for. So whether it is when we look at the symptoms of a zinc deficiency, they may be speaking to you. So whether that is thinning hair, maybe your hair is falling out because your zinc is low, and people that have a zinc deficiency are more at risk if you have leaky gut syndrome, so poor digestion, if you have a lot of stress, if you eat a lot of sugar and carbohydrates, that decreases your proper absorption of your zinc from your diet. Maybe you're not getting any zinc in your diet. If you take NSAIDs, acid blockers, if you're on birth control, if you take steroid drugs, if you are using a water pill or a diuretic, if you take estrogen or ACE inhibitors, that can really compromise your proper zinc proper absorption, and that can be causing a zinc deficiency. So that becomes important, right? Because if your hair is falling out, or maybe your immune system, you just find that you tend to be more susceptible. You're getting sick all the time. Maybe you're getting those little white spots on your nails. That's the time I always check my kids' nails. Do you have those little white spots? Zinc deficiency. As well as dry and aging skin, acne, eczema as well from that zinc deficiency. This is going to help with the proper scaffolding. So much so we always talk about vitamin C for our collagen levels. Zinc does the same thing. It helps with that proper scaffolding of our collagen. Tiredness, exhaustion, lack of concentration, dry eyes, blurred vision, loss of taste and smell related to that zinc deficiency, and decreased libido for both men and women, and enlarged prostate for the guys. So teaming this up, we will be talking about the men's formula. This is going to be important, your zinc. So it's 1 capsule a day of the zinc in the morning, and for infertility as well. And for the guys, of course, with the men's formula, which is, we'll talk about that in a few seconds, which is 2 capsules per day. All right, Leah has a question. Can I take this B12 in the morning with vitamin D3? Yes, absolutely. That's the great combination that I like to take. That's what I did today. My 1 capsule of your B12 and then 1 to 2 or 3 or more capsules of the D3 in combination in the morning. Great protocol, Leah. So thank you for that question. That is amazing. Thanks for everybody tuning in today. It's great to have you here on Deal Day. And when we're talking about zinc, great. We have some testimonials. So let's look at these really quickly. Christopher said, love this product. I have been using Vitatree Zinc for 8 months. Okay. I haven't even had a sniffle during that time. It has become part of my daily supplement ritual. Thanks for making a great product. I recommend this product to all my health coaching clients. Amazing. Well, thank you for, sharing that story, as well as Kim, who said, great supplement, best zinc supplement I've ever taken. Easy on the tummy, unlike other brands I've tried. Yeah, isn't that true? That's so important to know that it has that high absorption. Love that it also contains quercetin and copper. So yeah, it's unlike other zincs that you may have experienced, really gentle on your digestion, has that zinc ionophore, that quercetin for that proper absorption, great for your immune system, great for sore throats as well. Just 1 capsule a day in the morning. Great for muscle recovery after workouts. So if you love to work out, you're lifting weights, great for muscle recovery as well. Great for skin barrier function, for your collagen. I mean, there's so many benefits of the zinc, which is great. All right. I think we're moving on. Are we moving on now are we at the men's? All right. Wow. So welcome on into Deal Day. It's so great to have you here today. And no, we are talking, I think, about the men's formula first. No, the women's. Okay, yes. So just so that you know, I didn't see that on the slide. We do have a women's formula. I don't want to leave you out, ladies. I know you got a lot of questions about your hormones. We do have the women's formula, so please check it out on Vitatree.com. It is fantastic. I couldn't live without it. I'm just going to say it's right beside my bed, as it is right here on my podium, right beside my bedstand. 2 capsules I take at bedtime, 1 capsule in the morning. The standard dosage is 3 capsules a day. It is incredible for balancing those hormones, for the hot flashes, the night sweats. If you're not yet taking this, ladies, and you're suffering and you're going through changes with your hormones, please, in your cart immediately on Vitatree.com, women's formula. It'll change your life. From personal experience, I'll tell you. I formulated it. I'm biased. Yes, I am biased, but I can't live without this stuff. I can't go anywhere without it. I tried. I did it. I'm just a little aside. I'm not supposed to talk about this, but anyways, I'm going to take a couple seconds. I tried. I did a little experiment. This is going back probably a month ago. I'm like, let me just see what would happen if I didn't take the women's formula for 1 week, 7 days. I didn't take it. Not good. I think, I don't know if it was more the hot flashes that came back or it was more my moods. Like I was just kind of all over the place with my nerves and my moods. So anyways, yeah, lifesaver. Just that's all I'm going to say. Women's formula. Check it out. All right. So men. Guys, we're going to move on to the men's formula, the Vitamins formula. It's the same formula. If you see Vitamins or men's formula, we're in the transition phase of the actual labeling of this one right now. So yeah, same formulation. And it is our subscription price of $60.46 today. This is our super sale item. So this one lasts a little bit longer than the Deal Day. Deal Day is just for 24 hours on our AccuBlood and our collagen pouches. So make sure those are in your cart. But guys, you're adding this as well. This is so important. On subscription, fantastic value today. If you want to do the one-time, it's $67. And this is something that is an adaptogen. It's going to help with stress. It's going to help with stamina, with energy. It helps with cortisol levels, helps to protect your prostate. And we know that that prostate gland normally should be about the size for most men of a walnut. Okay. But over the age of 50, what happens is that if you've heard of BPH, benign prostatic hypertrophy, it starts to get bigger. And that is sort of part of the normal part of aging. But when your PSA levels are high in your blood work, and maybe you've had your blood work done and you've got a high reading, that could indicate some inflammation there and potentially some other, more compromising things for your prostate health. But this is all about in the men's formula to help with not only keeping your prostate healthy, but also if you do experience some of the symptoms of that enlarged prostate, which is some pressure on the ureters and some frequent urination. So you're finding that you're having to go to the washroom more frequently for urination. It could be nocturia, so in the middle of the night. that you're having to get up, 1, 2, 3, 4. One time is probably okay. 2, 3, 4 times would be a little bit, more concerning, with potentially that there's something happening with your prostate. So this is why I designed the men's formula to help with the urinary symptoms. When we look at some of the ingredients, maybe we'll come over here and I'll show you some of the ingredients in the Vitamins formula, that it helps with your good levels of your testosterone. It helps with your cortisol. And because of the stress, the adaptogenic effects of some of these herbal medicines, like the maca, is an adaptogenic herbal medicine. So in times of stress with cortisol, this is something that can offset the proper functioning of your testosterone. You could have high DHT, dihydrotestosterone, your hair is falling out, you're gaining fat in all the wrong places, related to that high DHT, which the saw palmetto and the pumpkin seed will address that and help to lower that DHT. But also your overall testosterone could be declining as you're aging. So now you're lacking energy, your libido's in the toilet, your stamina is not great. And this is why it's important to stimulate, the proper functioning of that balance between your cortisol and testosterone. There's something called pregnenolone steal, something that I've talked about in some of my social media that you can learn more about that. But when your cortisol, your stress levels are constantly high, that is going to exacerbate the fact that your overall, good testosterone goes low and you don't have the energy and the stamina. So this is going to help to find some of that balance. Again, from Mother Nature's ingredients. I didn't create them. I just put them together, but Mother Nature created these ingredients to really help to get your men's health under control, and that you're feeling active and energetic and vital, and it is amazing. 2 to 4 capsules per day is our standard dosage on this one for the guys. And again, the maca is adaptogenic. Saw palmetto helps with that DHT, so that less favorable testosterone state. That'll helps with the symptoms of your urinary tract not being so well balanced. So that's really important in terms of the frequent urination and the urination at nighttime. And the pumpkin seed has natural zinc. So remember, team this up with our zinc formula. So the men's formula plus the zinc, you could take them together if you wanted to. Fantastic for, protecting that prostate, giving you energy, great for your immune system, great for libido, great for fertility, guys, as well. The men's formula plus the zinc, that combination is the 1-2 duo for fertility issues. Maybe, ladies, you're watching and this is for your partner and this is something that you've been working on with fertility. That would be great. And then, of course, the women's formula for you, to help to balance out those hormones, which could be great for fertility. Yeah. So, which is so good. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in today. This is so great that we're able to do some live shopping. Again, you've tuned into Deal Day here at Vitatree. This is very new for us that are live shopping online. I've been on live television doing this for over 16 years now, but new here on Vitatree.com that I actually get to share all of my formulations with you, and we're able to do these great, fantastic discounts. All right. So our men's formula is on a super sale. So this lasts a little bit longer. So up to a week, you can secure this price. Again, a subscription price, if you wanted to go that way, has free shipping, which is amazing. So added, value there. And there's no cancellation fees. There's no muss, no fuss with our subscription. You don't have to worry about that, but that would be a great way to go. And you can schedule how often you want your shipments. And of course, it's a 2-bottle offer. If you want to just do the one time, and if you want to spread out your payments, you could do it on the one-time interest-free partial payments. That is available as well. We have some great testimonials on this product, from busy dads that are out there and, wanting to take care of their health. And I think there's a lot of value in that. A lot of guys don't like to talk about their health. Not every man is preventative in terms of their overall health, but this is a great way with the men's formula to be able to do that on such a great value today. Okay, 5 stars from Shamal. Vitamins has also given me a great boost of energy to start my day, allowing me to run and play with my son, and helps me keep up with my basketball team that I coach. I encourage all men to use it. Well, thank you so much, Shamal. That's amazing review. 5 stars again from Joseph. With starting my own family, I want to make sure my reproductive health is taken care of. The supplement grabbed my attention for all of its benefits, which are most important to me and my family. I definitely recommend it. So thank you so much, Joseph. That's an amazing testimonial. Thank you for sharing all of your great questions throughout my lives as well. Love that you're all here. And when we have such a great deal happening on Deal Day, you've tuned in at just the right time. So share with your friends as well. Don't forget that I'll be back. I have one more live show and that's it for today, for today's Deal Day at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, our AccuBlood is our Deal Day item. Again, regular price $80.78. We're at $52.54 just for today only. And while we have quantities left, our collagen as well, very limited in quantity. So you might want to be quick on this one, especially. Regular is $79.98. It's almost $80. And today is $53.98. Like, that is incredible. You're getting 20 scoops per pouch of your collagen, which is amazing. And our men's formula is our super sale. So this will be something else for the guys, that definitely for your overall health. We just finished talking about that. Amazing presentation, you know, in terms of, and a great, for all of the questions that came in. Leah, thank you for asking your question today. That was amazing that you were able to tune in and ask your question, and I was able to answer it for you. Don't forget that the book is available on the website on Vitatree.com as well, and all the other items in the show available on Vitatree.com. So go to Vitatree.com now. You can call toll free 1-844-GET-WELL as well if you wanted to do it that way and order with a representative. But great options today available for you. Thank you so much for everybody to tune in. I'll see you again at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.